It's a wet one here at Royal Athletic Park. Welcome to V.I.Sports, a show that goes beyond the scoreboard, bringing you stories from across the Vancouver Island sports scene. I'm Kevin Chirac, and today the setting is the 100th anniversary of the Jackson Cup, also known as the Vancouver Island Soccer League Championship Final. We'll bring you coverage throughout the game between the Cowichan FC and Saanich Fusion, but first let's preview the stories on this edition of V.I.Sports. On today's show, we go behind the lens with a professional sports photographer. We then tackle the age-old question, is darts really a sport? Also, a look at an up-and-coming basketball star from Nanaimo, and a profile of a Victoria kickboxer whose career has just kicked off. We'll have those stories coming up, but first, let's set up the game and find out a little bit more about the Jackson Cup. It's one game for Island soccer glory.
It's been around the longest, since 1914-15, so as far as amateur soccer goes here on the island, this is what everyone plays for.
So this is a real measuring stick, and it's just a revered trophy to win.
The 2015 Jackson Cup final pits the 2014 champion Saanich Fusion versus this year's #1 ranked Cowichan FC.
It should be an interesting game. There's always a couple stories underlying with what's happening.
The big story, Cooper Berry and Patty Nelson, former key members of the Saanich Fusion, now suiting up for Cowichan FC.
Yeah, I actually played with them for 10 years before moving to Cowichan. So, I mean, it'd been 10 years. It was tough, but still, you know, it was a good 10 years.
You know, you're playing against a couple of ex-teammates. Does that help motivate the club in this final here?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those guys are great guys and great players, and we've got a lot of respect for their team. But we're just really looking forward to giving the fans a great game and hopefully coming out with the result. We won it last year, so it's ours to defend.
A full recap and highlights at the show's conclusion. For our first story, we profile one of the most underrated jobs in the sports business. Can you guess what it is?
Sports photography?
Well done. Check it out.
So we're just going to put a net cam in before the Royals Edmonton game.
1 hour till puck drop, setup begins.
So this is a 15mm lens.
His tools of the trade.
That looks good. We don't want that focus to really change spots.
Precision is key.
So this is the remote shutter that will go on. So this is so that when I take a picture with my camera that I'm using normally during the game, it will also take a picture on this camera.
A few finishing touches and a final test.
When I press the shutter here, it goes through here into that one, and then it'll take a picture there.
For sports photographer Kevin Light, it's time to head to the office.
You do have like a adrenaline rush when you're down there. They're going very fast, and it doesn't really come across on TV. Your attention has to be focused the whole time.
Perfection is always chased, but hardly ever reached.
Sometimes a referee will come in the way, sometimes a player will go in the way, and you won't get exactly what you want, but you need to stay focused on, okay, what's coming next. You can't dwell on what you didn't get.
At intermission, Kevin Light scrolls through his near 800 taken photos. Only a small few stand the test of time.
We've got a goal in the net cam, which is always positive.
If the name Kevin Light sounds familiar, there's good reason.
2008 won gold medal in Beijing with my teammates in the men's 8.
Light retired from competitive rowing following the 2012 London Games. Since then, photography and family have been the focus. Applying lessons learned from his rowing days to his new career.
It's really on to you how good you want to be. Nobody's really going to come to you and help you. You need to reach out and ask for feedback and be able to deal with that feedback critically.
Though still new to the photography field, sports is second nature.
I look for photos that would be appealing to me as an athlete. So I would look for moments, I would think moments between the moments. rather than the goal, which is obviously important, but maybe the moment where the coach is talking to the players during the timeout before the goal.
In just his 3rd year as a pro, he's covered 3 Grey Cups and multiple NFL games. He says to best prepare, know your storylines, anticipate the action.
If I see a defenseman open or something, I might, okay, well, the play might flow that direction, and I'll prepare for that type of shot. Or in the case of Brandon McGee's 300th game, we focus on him a little bit more. I mean, he's a star player anyway, so he gets a lot of coverage, but maybe just a little bit more. Here we go.
As the horn sounds, a rush to capture the celebration. Game over for the Royals and fans means time to begin the post-production.
In the background, in order for this player to stand out a little more, we can just darken the crowd just slightly.
Out of nearly 2,000 photos, only a select few make the cut for the Royals website. For Kevin Light, it's another day of learning and improving in the highly competitive world of sports photography, the type of daunting challenge he's familiar with.
Trying to win the Olympics, or even trying to get onto the Olympic team as a Canadian and then trying to win the Olympics, is probably one of the more competitive things you can do in the world. Well, if I did that, if I apply the same steps, there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to do this.
How cool is it that he's on the field for Seahawks games? Seriously, that's an awesome job. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, darts, basketball, kickboxing, and more from the 100th anniversary of the Jackson Cup. Welcome back. Now we're going to go from soccer, the most popular sport in the world, to a game that you might not even really consider a sport. Our own Derek Johnstone and Todd Jones from Nanaimo will help you decide.
So you say darts is an affordable game to get into because really all you need is 3 of these and a place to play. That place today is at Branch 10 of the Legion in Nanaimo, an establishment that is home to various dart leagues. It's a social game, but there is definitely an edge of competition, and the experts, like Ken Gourlay and Barry Davies here, understand it like champions.
So it has a lot to do with physics, some like curling or pool or, you know, some of those ones that are Olympic sports, let alone a sport, but you don't want to get me started on that.
If you sense a bit of resentment on the issue, you've heard right. Many dart enthusiasts argue that this is a sport, and with competitive elements, projectiles, and physical precision in play, it's a tough point to argue. But then much of its roots are as a social pastime, played with only a bit of motion in throwing these small missiles.
Well, they're fairly cheap. You've got about 3 or 4 parts that make up the dart, and the darts these days are made out of tungsten, which makes them heavier and thinner in your fingers to throw.
It feels pretty significant in my hand. Is it easy to throw, easy to play?
Very easy, yep.
So anybody can play, even Todd could make a good throw?
No, yeah, you could, yeah.
I'm sure I'm way better than you.
Do you want to test that theory?
I do, you're on.
All right. And there's that competitive element right there. But there are a few other elements to the sport that are worth knowing before it's game on.
There isn't an actual correct way. A lot of it is how comfortable you are. Basically, this is the oki, is what the line is called, the oki. Your toe must be as close as that, but you can't go over it at all because then it's called a foot fault and your darts don't count.
We don't want that.
I've put my foot there, I crank it on a 45-degree angle, and then throw from there.
The idea is to move as little as possible because the only thing you want to move is the hand, right? So if you're unbalanced, you're going to change the trajectory of your darts.
That makes sense, yes.
How much weight do I put into it? How do I know if I'm going to...
You're going to find out when you throw your first dart, and then you're going to adjust from there.
Let's see the first 3 darts, see what happens here.
You ready for this, Todd? It's going to be good.
Okay, so there we go.
Oh, I didn't hit the board, I hit the board, but...
So you start on 501 points, and every score you get, you take it off until you get to 0.
Do you have to be at exactly 0 or can you go under 0?
Exactly 0.
Each one of these sections is the score of the number above it. So this black bit and this black bit is 20.
Right.
The outside line of every number, this is double. So it's double 20, that's 40, double 1, that's 2. And in the center, the little small one, that's triple.
Okay, now my instinct is to say that the bullseye is going to be the best shot, but you were saying earlier that it's not.
Well, the best scores to get is triple. So triple 20 is 60 is the best you can get.
With a bit of knowledge and a lot of overconfidence, Todd and I were ready to jump into the game.
And triple 20. Oh, triple 20.
Yeah.
Not quite as much as you, Todd.
It's hand-eye coordination, so that's why it's such a wide range and people can play for such a long time. So we've got members who are 65 that play and play quite strongly because it's not that physically demanding on them.
Oh, so close.
44 scored.
This is a gentlemanly game there, Todd.
This is not a game, this is a sport, and I'm gonna crush you. Is that okay to say that, Barry?
That's the way I say it.
All right.
It's always intense and competitive when you get to the high level, like any sport. Everybody that's really good wants to win.
That's how good the sport is, and that's how great the people are, is that you can have a little bit of friendly banter, go back and forth.
This is Derek. This is me.
This is like the fable, the tortoise and the hare. And who wins in the end there, Todd? Who wins in the end? With some admittedly solid play, Todd got to his opportunity to double out very quickly.
Apparently, if I hit this double 10, it's sayonara to you.
Barry and I play. You know, he gets down to the double real fast, but then you got to take it out, and that's the problem. You can shoot 180s all day long, but I'll come down, sneak up on you, and that's the hare and the tortoise thing we were talking about.
Absolutely.
Oh, double 6. Look how close it is off the wire. Keep coming, little tortoise. Keep coming.
And I did. Slowly.
I think me and Derek bring a special skill set to this game. We turn a game of darts to a marathon.
So slowly, in fact, that we had plenty of time to learn more about darts at the Legion. As it turns out, the Legion was ramping up to host the Mid-South Vancouver Island Zone Dart Championships.
Legions need every bit of support they can possibly get, and for this zone dart tournament to be held here is big for us.
So we just want to introduce for more people to come out and play darts.
Derek spent a lot of time on the double 1. I'm going to finish out pretty fast here.
Literally, far more than 100 throws later, we were feeling like we were about to set a record.
I can't believe you used pretty fast in this game.
I know.
Hey, no world record today.
Did you really do
Oh, I hit it, man.
No, you did.
Oh, it took so long to get there. They're celebrating bigger than we are.
Short cable.
Oh!
Yeah.
In Nanaimo, I'm Derek Johnstone.
Tortoise in the hair, buddy. Tortoise in the hair.
So is it a sport? Does that make poker a sport? I mean, they're both on sports channels, so. But anyways, our next story is about a 16-year-old boy from Nanaimo who moved there from Bella Bella and is trying to make his basketball dreams a reality.
At the age of 16, Jordan Gladstone is fast. Combining his speed, agility, and a passion for basketball, this Thursday night practice is more than just running drills on the court. For Jordan, basketball is a huge part of his life.
I've been playing basketball since I was like 3 years old. My parents bought me a ball and a little hoop, and I just played on there all the time.
Originally from Bella Bella, Jordan and his family moved to Nanaimo 2 years ago for better access to schools and, of course, more opportunities to help develop Jordan's basketball skills.
And that's the only thing to do in Bella Bella is to play basketball. That's all we have there, so his free time is to go to the gym when he was younger and just play basketball in our community hall.
A quiet but confident athlete, Jordan's passion for basketball also helped him transition into his new surroundings. He now plays for Dover Bay Secondary, with the BC provincial team this past summer, and for the last 2 years as point guard for the Nanaimo Native Sons junior basketball team.
I want to help this team win, and we're all a close team, and we all have good personalities, and we all combine.
You know, you're only as good as your team, and you know, Jordan, I see that in him. You know, he always tries to make everybody a part of the team, and that's the only way you can win. You know, is making everybody as good as you are.
The Native Sons compete in several tournaments across the island and in BC each year, with players ages ranging from 10 to 18 years of age. Charles and Paul really focus on the importance of teamwork and mentorship to bring the guys together.
Sons on 3!
The Native Sons has been a team name for our community for some time, for generations. You know, it goes back to my grandparents' time and, you know, uncles, whether it be lacrosse, soccer, or basketball. The Native part of it is who we are as Hwalmach, as you know, as Native people, you know. And the Sons is, to me, is bringing everybody together, you know, treating everybody as family.
Yeah, it brings everybody together and like helps us all like relate to one another, and I don't know, we're all a close team.
Sport runs deep in the Gladstone family. Jordan, his older brother Gary, and his two younger siblings also play various levels of basketball. And with his sights set on the opportunity to play Division I in the U.S., Jordan hopes to catch the eye of college reps in the next couple of years. In Nanaimo, I'm Jocelyn Matui.
Jordan recently helped lead the Nanaimo Native Sons to their first basketball championship in over 30 years in the BC All-Native Junior Basketball Tournament. We're going to take a quick break, but when we return, a Victoria Kickboxer aims for revenge. Up next, we profile a Victoria kickboxer who's been gearing up for the biggest fight of his life. Did he bring back the hardware? James Green has the story.
It was a fight that he needed to win.
Biggest fight yet.
20-year-old Tim Pacman Packer from Victoria had one goal: to become the International Sport Karate Association's amateur BC lightweight kickboxing champion.
It's actually the biggest sanctioning body for kickboxing. To us, it's like you know, if you're playing junior B hockey, you want to make the NHL, well, this is a stepping stone for these guys. It's the same thing. They have to get through BC's, Canadian, then North American, and a world, maybe hopefully a world amateur title shot.
Stan Petrek trains the Pacman. Says that the young Tim Packer is one of his brightest rising stars.
Always exciting, non-stop. The whole thing with Pacman is, yeah, he's just like a Pacman. He just comes at you.
But to rise in this sport, you need to win. And for this second fight against arch-rival Ruthless Lucas Taylor, the Pacman got serious, especially after being defeated in their first matchup just over 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was definitely the most pressure beforehand, and he beat me before, so that was my first loss ever too, so it was pretty horrible feeling.
A feeling that fueled his motivation.
Well, he's here every day. He might have a Sunday off, but between running and his workouts, I'd say he's probably close to 4 hours a day.
When it came to the big day back on March 21st of this year, it was at the Perks Arena in Saanich when the Pacman felt ready.
You've seen your opponent, and you know you gotta stay calm. And whoever thinks, that's what Stan was saying, whoever thinks more is gonna win the fight.
Tim Packer did his homework on his opponent and learned from previous mistakes.
Just remembered my training and didn't get, like usually everything goes out the window and I just kind of don't really think, just start throwing punches and stuff, but this time I was more calm.
The two rivals, Packer in black shorts, Taylor in red shorts, fought furiously till the final bell. For Tim Pacman Packer, redemption.
So all my family and friends were there, and people said it was the best fight, and then I won the title too. So
fun to watch. Most of his fights have been by knockout, so he's an exciting fellow to watch.
Tim Packer accomplished his goal, capturing the ISKA BC Amateur Lightweight Kickboxing title, knowing he defeated a very worthy adversary.
No hatred towards the guy. Like we were fine before and we're fine after. Good to know I've avenged, I'd say. Avenge instead of revenge.
A major victory for a promising young kickboxer known as the Pacman. In Victoria, I'm James Green.
Next up for Tim Pacman Packer could be a rematch, as him and ruthless Lucas Taylor have fought twice, each winning one bout. Now, if you want to keep up to date with the kickboxing drama, you can find Pederx Martial Arts on Facebook. Now, we're in the second half. It's 2-1 in the match behind me, Cowichan FC and Saanich Fusion. Let's take a closer look. Kevin Brown, game-winning goal in extra time for Cowichan FC. Just talk me through that roller coaster of a game.
Well, it seemed like every time we scored, they'd get one right away, and I don't know, 4-3 is a pretty high-scoring game for a game like this, so it's just great we ended up on top.
Even when you scored that fourth goal, were you convinced that it was over?
When the fourth one went in, yeah, I was pretty sure it was over, but to be honest, I thought that after the third one and second one, too.
Patty Nelson over here, Cooper Berry over here. Two current champions with Cowichan FC, two past champions with Saanich Fusion. Guys, just talk me through that roller coaster of a matchup.
Well, yeah, it seemed every time we got ahead, they kept, Chris Beardman kept winning headers and putting us back on level terms. So, I don't know, we just...
Very stressful. Very stressful.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
No, it wasn't a lot of fun, actually. I'm sure it would have been good to watch, but it was very stressful. But it was good. We came out on top. It was good in the end. Good in the end, of course.
Patty, any mixed emotions with playing your former club?
I don't know about mixed emotions, but they're all good guys. I mean, we know everyone on every team in here. I mean, it's a very small island, and it's great to play with those guys. We play with them on other teams as well. It's always fun to play against them. But I don't know about mixed emotions. They're just good friends more than anything else.
Cooper, it seemed like Saanich just would not go away. When you scored that goal in extra time, did you think you had him?
Yes, yeah, I did. I thought we had him, but I mean, they were dangerous in the air off set pieces. We kept giving them chances to score, and they did their job. They kept scoring. So, I mean,
I thought we had them 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was good though. They did a heck of a job battling, but yeah, I mean, of course, I wanted to get the winner, but I guess KB can have it.
What an amazing game. That wraps things up here at Royal Athletic Park. Cowichan FC, winners of the 100th Jackson Cup. Thank you so much for joining us today. For everyone here at V.I.Sports, I'm Kevin Chirac, and we'll see you next time.
Hi, my name is Jared Taylor. I'm from Victoria, British Columbia, and this is my GoPro close-up moment.